If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop.
I live in Florida. I was just watching the news right now, and I saw the Brevard County Sheriff came on and was talking about like the riots and stuff. And he was like, if you're not going to peacefully protest, then we're just going to call your family and let them know where your remains are, because we're going to shoot you dead in the street. He literally said they will shoot you dead. He was like, oh, I know they've been, rioting in California, but this isn't California. We will shoot you. How counterproductive is that for society? This is why things turn violent, because when people peacefully protest, nothing happens. You're supposed to be protecting the people, and you're protecting ICE. Why don't you take a look at why people don't like ICE and why people are protesting in the first place?
One of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
You know, when I was in the war zone, I've had many things thrown at me. Bricks, saw blades, Molotov cocktails, rocks, and not a single fucking time did we shoot into the crowd. We were specifically told that we do not kill unarmed civilians in Iraq in a fucking war zone. And every single one of you veterans that have been in Iraq or Afghanistan, you fucking know. You fucking know. So why is this sheriff telling the public that if American citizens throw rocks at his officers, that they are going to fucking shoot them dead? Why is he doing that in Iraq when we didn't even do that shit in a fucking war zone? Tell me. Fucking tell me. Every single one of you veterans, you fucking know. You fucking know. And let me remind you that at these protests, it is going to be your cousins, your nieces, your nephews, your aunts, your uncles, your friends, their children, and this motherfucker is telling his police officers to shoot into the crowd if somebody throws a fucking rock. Tell me again how this is not authoritarianism. Tell me. I would love to know. Now, I need to be careful what I say on this app, because I assure you, if that happens, people are going to regret it. People are absolutely going to regret it. This is not what we stand for. It is not. It is absolutely not. And if you think that it is, then you are a fucking traitor. And I have never said that on this app ever. I do not use that word lightly. If you think shooting civilians for throwing rocks at law enforcement is an acceptable action, then you are an absolute fucking traitor. To that sheriff, that motherfucker's a liability. He is an absolute liability. Be disciplined, love your country, and quit being a fucking dumbass.
I live in Florida. I was just watching the news right now, and I saw the Brevard County Sheriff came on and was talking about like the riots and stuff. And he was like, if you're not going to peacefully protest, then we're just going to call your family and let them know where your remains are, because we're going to shoot you dead in the street. He literally said they will shoot you dead. He was like, oh, I know they've been, rioting in California, but this isn't California. We will shoot you. How counterproductive is that for society? This is why things turn violent, because when people peacefully protest, nothing happens. You're supposed to be protecting the people, and you're protecting ICE. Why don't you take a look at why people don't like ICE and why people are protesting in the first place?
To my protesters in the Florida area, if you out there protesting, make sure you keeping it peaceful. Come on, Simple Little T with Auntie, let's talk about it. So, in the Florida area, there is a Florida sheriff, who has, I'm not even going to say it's a warning. I think it's not even a threat. I think it's a promise. He said, if you come out there with a brick, a stick, or any type of weapon to cause harm to these officers that's out there patrolling, you will be unalived. Your family will have to come to identify your body. The way he typed it, and I think he even spoke it as well, I don't think it's a threat, y'all. It's a promise. They're going out there with that evil intent in their head, waiting on anybody to make one false move so they can make an example out of them. Don't you be the one. Keep it peaceful. Matter of fact, not just the Florida area, y'all. There will be over between 16 and 1,800 different protests tomorrow, which is Donald Trump's birthday. 16 to 1,800 protests all around the world for Donald Trump's birthday, y'all. If you're going to be a part of one of those protests, keep it peaceful. Don't allow these people to make an example out of you, because that's what they're looking to do. Because it don't call for all of that is going on, y'all. Keep it peaceful. Donald Trump parade is tomorrow, y'all. This man had to pay people. They had to pay people. I get why the parade was going to cost millions of dollars. They had to pay people to put on the MAGA t-shirts and Make America Great hats. He couldn't get enough people who support him to go out there and put their t-shirt and their hat on for free. They had to pay him. I seen the ad with my own eyes. What's it coming to, y'all? Stay prayed up, most importantly. Y'all, we living in our final days, our last days. Get your house in order. If your house isn't in order, the time is now for to get your house in order, because a whole lot of things that are in the Bible that they said what he said would unfold, they're definitely unfolding. Yes, ma'am, they are. Thank y'all for sipping a little more tea with Auntie. Bye, y'all.
Did y'all see how? Y'all about to see how excited he got when he said, "Whoa, boy, let me demonstrate on what we like to do to unruly civilians, or civilians that's just using their rights to speak freely." We're gonna roll the tape.
Right? And if somebody wants to know what I mean by turn violent, all right, this is what I mean. If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to.
Told you what they used to doing. Jail, run you down, wear you out, hospital, or kill you graveyard dead. So he just explained in detail of what they will do, what they're capable of, what they've been doing, especially to our black men and women. Oh, don't do what they say. Last time I checked, we were free. Talk back, going to jail. Run, we gonna run you down. If you step in front of somebody's car, they got the... He just gave civilians in Florida the green light to run the people over. He just told you in detail what they are used to doing without batting an eye. If that don't tell you something, somebody needs to look at that police station and every single official in that department, in every department across the U.S. states, because he said that with way too much confidence and conviction and like it's okay. Did anybody else get what I just got? I mean, hey, I'm just the messenger. The man just told you what they used to doing and what they don't have a problem doing without batting an eye. What type of people, where these people come from? What type of people are these people? That's another conversation. I'll be back with it.
Crazy, terrifying breaking news. A Florida sheriff just told Americans he's ready to kill them. In a press conference ahead of the No Kings protest, Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey said, quote, "If you throw a brick, firebomb, point a gun at us, or attack one of my deputies, we will kill you. Graveyard dead." Those were his exact words. He also told families they'd be notified where to collect the remains. So to be clear, Ivey said peaceful protests are welcome, but he made no mention of de-escalation, no reminders about the right to free assembly. His message was just blunt. If you protest, cross a line, deadly force will be used on you. This comes as tensions rise nationwide over ICE raids, National Guard deployments, and reports of civil rights violations. And it raises an important question. Are local law enforcement now taking their cues from Trump's militarized approach to protests? Rights groups say this kind of language can escalate violence, not prevent it. In a democracy, police aren't supposed to issue public threats to citizens. I want to show you a picture of this guy because everybody should know who this guy is. This man was elected. He was elected to hold this position, and this is how he talks to the people that elected him. This man, in my opinion, should not be in power. This man should be stripped and sent back to wherever he came from, because this is the type of person who should be thrown out of our country.
A Florida sheriff warned that if there are protests in his county on Saturday, they have the right to kill you and notify your family of where to collect your remains. He also said that they will send their dogs to bite you.
Block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tight, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
There are mass protests planned for the 14th, which is the same day as Trump's birthday military parade. And some states are allowing protests to happen, but some places like Florida are now saying you cannot protest here, which is part of your First Amendment right to the right to assemble. And Governor DeSantis also said that anybody that hits a protester with their car, they won't go to jail for that, because that's now considered self-defense.
And we also have a policy that if you're driving on one of those streets and a mob comes and surrounds your vehicle and threatens you, you have a right to flee for your safety. And so if you drive off and you hit one of these people, that's their fault for impinging on you.
Seems to be the place that all of the crazy racists that have had to operate in kind and status quo are now coming out of the woodworks. And if our leader is crazy, why would they keep anything under wraps? Everyone in Florida that is planning to protest on Saturday, please stay safe. Your governor does not care about your First Amendment rights, and I don't know what will occur there.
Graveyard dead.
A lot of you have seen that video where that Florida man warned protesters they'd be graveyard dead if they showed up and messed with him. Let's see how they do it in Texas.
I'm looking at 4 philosophies that I have here with these protests. Reasonable. Restricting the fewest freedoms possible. I want people to protest. I will be there with you. I will facilitate that as best I can. Peaceful protest and peaceful assembly. Disarming, limiting the use of force, the coercion and intrusiveness. I don't want officers to have to make arrests. I don't want officers to use force. Focused. We target only harmful behaviors and conditions. So the goal is, within a crowd, agitators are really good at hiding behind people that are there to peacefully assemble. And what they do is they'll create this chaos. We're going to have targeted enforcement into those people and remove them from the protest and allow this protest to continue on.
That's the tone we're looking for. That's how you do it. So maybe, crazy idea, we should put more women in charge. That's Austin Police Chief Lisa Davis telling protesters, show up peacefully, show up in protest, but if agitators show up, they will be removed. No words of graveyard dead, we're going to sick them dogs on you. That is how you address the public. Because if you've been in a customer service job, the energy you put toward the customer is the energy you're going to get back. In the art of de-escalation, if you start at an 11, you're never going to get back down to a 1. So it is important for leaders to effectively communicate with the public. And Lisa Davis appears at least to have the messaging on point there. And it is a stark contrast to the Florida man. Graveyard dead, everybody. So I just say this again, if you're out there protesting today, please be safe. If you find agitators, remove yourself from that situation. But be safe, be loud, show up, let the world know in America, there are no kings. It is we the people.
If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead.
That's the Brevard County, Florida Sheriff, and he's just laying it down what's going to happen if y'all start pulling the shit that's going on in California in his county. I see a whole lot of people in the comments that seem really confused about the death threats, thinking that this is something new. No, this is what happens in Florida. Florida is the you loot, we shoot state. It is the fuck around and find out state. While other states are empathizing with the criminals that have victimized people in the community, Florida don't play none of that, bro. It is not the state that you want to go if you plan on committing some crimes. These sheriffs' jobs is to protect the law-abiding citizens within their communities, and they take that job serious as a heart attack. But do y'all think that saying this type of stuff on TV is too much? Let me know down in the comments.
Florida, listen up. The Brevard County Sheriff went on live TV and pretty much said if anyone is pushing back at these protests, that they will sick dogs on them to bite them, or worse, they will notify your family to come collect your remains when they unalive you. Yes. And who is backing all of this? Of course, Governor Ron DeSantis, who then went on a podcast, because that's where all white male politicians go to spew their hate nowadays, and said that if you're driving a car and somebody's holding a sign like a protester, you can just run them over because they're impeding on your freedom of movement. Yes. Now, since Governor DeSantis thinks that he knows the law and he's above the law, let's talk about the investigation against him and his wife, who have a fake charity, Hope Florida, in which they took $10 million from a Medicaid lawsuit and funneled it into political campaigns, specifically ones that don't legalize gardening. And when asked to turn over tax records, bylaws, meeting notes, anything that would prove otherwise, they refused. So now they're under investigation. But this isn't new. This is the same governor who, after Hurricane Ian, like directly after, halted search and rescue so that he could stand in front of the wreckage. Time-sensitive rescue missions halted so that he could hold a press conference standing in front of the wreckage to make him look good. Yes, that happened. And it's also the same governor who just signed a bill that in 2026, silver and gold can be used as legal currency. Because that's what we're worried about here in Florida. Not that the state's literally drowning. Not that we have a governor who is, currently in a legal battle over money. But he thinks he's going to fix it because you're going to be able to use your gold earrings to buy groceries at Publix. Like that's going to solve it all. I could go on and on. I'm living in Florida. I watched this all unfold. I could literally go on and on. This is scare tactic 101. This is fear mongering. This is their way trying to scare everyone away from protests. But it is your legal right to protest peacefully. Do not let them scare you. But please stay aware when you're at protests tomorrow in Florida. Okay? Keep your eyes peeled. Protect each other. But bring your signs. Bring your American flags, like Devin's video yesterday. And just stay safe, okay? but it is your right, and you should be able to peacefully protest. Do not let them scare you.
Oh, good morning, good morning, good morning. Oh, I gotta show y'all something. Watch to the end, you're gonna see a video of the clip I'm talking about. Check this out. We all know what's going on in California, all these peaceful protests, aka riots, that Democrats are doing, and that Democrats are allowing. While they're allowing it, Democrat politicians are socialists, communists, and anarchists. This is what they want, right? And so President Trump learned from the summer of love in 2020 not to wait on these people, to stop these people. That's why he dispersed the National Guard and a few Marines out there to help protect ICE agents and to protect federal lands. Now, if you ever wonder why this don't ever happen in red states or red cities, red counties, I'm going to show you a video that's going to explain specifically why this does not happen. Because red states, red cities, they don't bullshit. They will F you up. You hear me? In Florida, I forgot the guy's name, the sheriff. He's like, look, if you break the law, now you can protest all you want, peaceful, that's fine. If you break the law, you're going to jail. If you break the law, you're going to jail. If you touch any of our officers, you gonna die. Your family be trying to find somewhere to bury your body. You gonna die, bitch.
If you resist lawful orders, you're going to jail. Let me be very clear about that. If you block an intersection or a roadway in Brevard County, you are going to jail. If you flee arrest, you're going to go to jail tired, because we are going to run you down and put you in jail. If you try to mob rule a car in Brevard County, gathering around it, refusing to let the driver leave, in our county, you're most likely going to get run over and dragged across the street. If you spit on us, you're going to the hospital and in jail. If you hit one of us, you're going to the hospital and jail, and most likely get bitten by one of our big, beautiful dogs that we have here. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to play. This has got to stop.
Black people, come on down to the front. Come on down to the front. I want you to hear this message loud and clear.
If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will be notifying your family where to collect your remains at, because we will kill you graveyard dead. We're not going to.
I want you to think about that message that he just delivered. They ain't playing. Okay? And then I also want you to think about what's happening out there in them protest streets. They are already blaming you, black people, for the looting. So.
Hi guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm your host, Beryl. Thank you all for being so much invested in my story and my page. You're growing. We're almost at 500 subs. So, in America today, tensions are rising across the country. Thousands are preparing to take to the streets for the upcoming No Kings protests, demanding freedom, justice, and accountability. But in Florida, one sheriff has delivered a chilling message that's making headlines and igniting outrage, guys. Have you watched the video compilation? You've seen the exact words, not my words though, guys, not my words. His words. The sheriff in Florida is bold enough to say such to the public. Yes, it was recorded and I have shared it and everyone else is aware. Brevard County Sheriff Wayne Ivey stood at the podium and made it crystal clear. If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will kill you. Let me repeat. The county sheriff Wayne Ivey, he clearly stood at that particular podium, confidently saying with all the authority in the world, If you throw a brick, a firebomb, or point a gun at one of our deputies, we will kill you. His words spread like wildfire across the nation, both shocking and dividing the public. Yep, not even across the nation, across the world. The sheriff's statement comes just days before thousands are expected to gather for the national wide No Kings demonstration on June 14th, which has passed. So these protests are meant to actually challenge what organizers describe as authoritarian overreach, political corruption, and increasing police militarization. But with the sheriff's remark, Sheriff Ivey, he sent a strong message that Florida law enforcement will not hesitate to meet violence with deadly force. Oh my god, it's crazy to live in Florida right now. Wow, like just crazy. Immediately, civil rights groups and constitutional experts sounded the alarm. The ACLU of Florida responded, warning that such statements could escalate tensions and threaten peaceful demonstrators' right to free speech and assembly. Law enforcement should protect peaceful protests, not threaten them with violence. Many Americans are now asking, where is the line between maintaining law and order and crossing into tyranny? Like, oh my goodness, it's crazy. Like, what are you guys going through? Oh my god. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis has echoed similar statements and sentiments by backing his state's law enforcement and promoting, strict measures against any form of unrest. His tough stance aligns with the new state policies that increase penalties for protesting, raising concerns among activists that the right to protest is under attack. Oh my goodness, it's like watching those Bollywood and Nollywood movies. Like, what's going on? What's happening? My goodness. The No Kings protests symbolize more than just political frustration. They are a test of America's democracy, of whether freedom of speech and peaceful assembly can still thrive in a deeply divided nation. As thousands take to the streets, all eyes now turn to Florida. Will the sheriff's threats discourage violence or just fuel it? Will law enforcement respect peaceful protest or spark new confrontations? Only time will tell, right? Only time will tell, because what is going on? So guys, please, what do you think? Was Sheriff Ivey's warning necessary or a dangerous abuse of power? Please drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss the truth behind today's biggest headline. Stay safe, stay informed. Please stay safe. I repeat, stay safe. I'll be back with more news. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.